So what I'm going to show you is how to do a beautiful half-hour Thai hand reflexology session on one hand, and then you do half an hour on the opposite hand. Now, this is my old sequence. It's absolutely fantastic. There's nothing wrong with this, but I filmed this many years ago, and it's absolutely beautiful to do to this day, right? Thousands upon thousands of students are doing this actual sequence. However, I've got a brand new sequence with advanced techniques. So if you like this and you want to learn more and be able to do new sequences, new techniques, then have a look at the link below and you can have a look at my Thai Hand Reflexology course. All right, so you get to the person's hand and have a look at this. This is a beautiful way to start the treatment. You're basically holding, sort of almost shaking their hand with one hand and the other on top. And just using your energy, it's very, very calming, connects with the person. It's a lovely way to start the treatment. Right, so we're going to start stimulating the energy in the arm meridians. So you start with palm walking, again using your body weight, as you walk up and down the forearm. You see, I just kind of very softly grip with my fingers are wrapping around the arm there. Now you see my other hand, I'll call it the mother hand, my left hand there. It should be always very comforting. Now, what I'm doing here are 3 lines, lateral, central, and medial, along the meridians there, along the channels, the send lines. You see that? And then I'll do some more palm walking. So what I was going to say is, you see the left hand there, it's always sort of a very caring hand when you're using one hand. The second hand is very loving, warm, caring. It's not just sort of gripping onto the person. So now we'll do the inside, the inside part of the forearm as we work down along through there. So we palm walk and we use then our thumbs as we're stimulating the energy down those send lines. You see I've just swapped hands as I turned it around there. And then some more palm walking. So we're really softening up the forearm, getting the energy working through the arms there, and really stimulating that chi. Now you can see here, we're just doing some horizontal lines across the hand there. And then I'm just doing a stretch with my fingers. You see the way we stretch the hand? It's a really lovely stretch. Now, speaking of stretches, 2 fingers in each. You see that? Little finger and ring fingers all interlock, and then we do pressure point work down the hands with the hand in this lovely stretch. It's a stretch that the hand never gets because we're always flexing our hands. Think, creating a fist, but this is opening it up. So you're opening up these energy channels. It gives you really good access to the reflex points. So we're just starting to really work along through the hands, all through the reflex points here. And then sort of alternating, just softening everything up there, stimulating the points again. Now, get some cream or oil, whatever you're using, rub it in your hands to warm it first. And now we're going to start using a bit of cream. Now, before we had no cream and we just started working down the arm using palm and thumb walking, now we're going to do this real squeeze as you use between the webbing between the thumb and forefinger as you work down through there. Just alternating hands, change hands whenever you want in these treatments. Do what's most comfortable. And now I'm pressing with my thumb there, you see that? So now we're really working along those energy lines. So before, as we stimulated them with thumb presses, now we're working along them as we drag our thumb, push our thumb through. And you can imagine how heavenly this feels. So we're doing both sides of the arm. So your client is already melted. Basically, they've gone to water. They've just this itself feels amazing. You see it's a real squeeze. You can see the pressure I put there. Again, using my body weight as we squeeze through there, really milking that forearm there, really getting the blood out, squeezing it up, new fresh blood, nutrients, oxygen, and of course stimulating the energy. Now you can see that using the heels of my palms there on the posterior and anterior aspect of the forearm, just at the wrist there. Because what we want to do now is really just loosen up the hands. So we've got the energy going through the forearms. Now you can just see I'm doing some joint mobilizations. I'm just working here, just sort of loosening them up. And again, if you think of this as the body, we're loosening up through the top of the shoulders, the upper back, that sort of thing, tightness. So it's a really nice way to just loosen everything up. And then, for the same reasons, but now we're going to do just circling the fingers backwards and forwards. So again, it's just loosening up these joints, which loosens up the body. And now some figure 8 thumb circlings over the back of the wrist there. And now up through the channels between the fingers there. You see that? And then come down the other sides. Up through the center too, and down, and you're just working through this area. So that's upper back area. Now this is called breaking chocolate. You can see that? We're just going down through here, pressing the thumbs. And again, what this is doing is really not only stimulating the reflex points, but also loosening up all the joints there. Now we're just turning over here. Now, see here again? In that same position, little fingers and ring fingers. And now we're just working down right the way. So we're covering all the body here. So you just see this really, really nice. And now I'm pushing. So first I was pulling down, and now I'm pushing. The other thing you'll notice when I'm doing this is my thumbs are not doing all the circling or anything like that. It comes from the arms and the shoulders. And again, there's a big difference between thumb circling and using the rest of your body to create the movement. Now you see here we go horizontally across through the lung, heart area, the diaphragm, the stomach, kidneys. And now we get the fist just to go through everything there, stimulating all these points. So it's very broad stimulation as we go through here. Now we just turn the hand over and we do the back of the hand. So again, this is your upper back area. We just work there down hip, knee area, down the lower area, lower back. And again, we're going between the fingers there. Really feels fabulous. Now you see here, I'm going to get a little gentle pull and flick off the finger, or off the thumb there, but off the fingers. So you see that I've got it between my two fingers there, the thumb. As we come down through the top of the hand, grab hold of the finger, gentle pull. You might hear a little pop. There's no problems with that. And off you go. That nice little flick really stimulates the energy. And I do, you see my hand, I just kind of turn it a little bit as well. You see a little turn and flick. Once again, just working around that ovaries area there. Now once again, we're just going to just work the joints here as we loosen things up here. It's really nice to loosen up these hands there. So you're doing massage. It also gives your hands a bit of a rest as well. And now we're doing this nice horizontal work here as we're really covering all of the palm of the hand here, all those reflex points all the way through. Now remember, this is just basically a warm-up for the Thai massage stick. So what we're really doing is just, prepping them basically. So head right down. There's all these wonderful acupuncture points here as well. Now, we're just doing little fingers now. You see that? Little fingers are just hooked in there. Before it was little finger, and I just got showing you there. And now, you see, I come out and I give a little stretch through the palm as well. Now through the base there. So spleen, pancreas, small intestines, colon area, all this lower intestinal stuff. And now we're just pressing on the adrenals there. As we work all the way through the thumb area there. So come down and out. You see that? Down through the center and out. Now, what we're going to do here is doing some pressure point work. Stimulating the points now. We've been working with sort of massage type work here. Now we're going to press them. You go right the way along the fingers here. So you go right the way from the wrist all the way up. I like to give, when I get up to the very top segment there, the face, head, sinus area, the tips of the fingertips, I like to give it an extra little press there to really stimulate that. This one here, right there, give it a little extra press. So we're just working up through each finger, and then of course the thumb. Again, look at my thumb there. It's not bent, it's straight, it's going down through the arm bone. So we're really looking after our biomechanics. And I gave it an extra press there on the pituitary, at the tip of the thumb there. Now we're looking at eye, ear, and spinal region here, just working along that as well. All right. Now, so here we're going to open up the hand. See the way I'm placing my hand? I want to show you. You see that? Now, I'm just showing you, you can have your, depending on the size of the hand, the little finger can sit in, or if it's a bigger hand, it can lay out. It doesn't matter. So you can see this position here, 2 fingers underneath the back of the hand, 2 on top of the fingers. It splays it out beautifully. So now I'm working the spinal region here. So this is how you want to have your hand to really get great access to this hand and the reflex points. Of course, it feels great, with a nice stretch for the person as well. And I'm just working horizontal lines all the way through here. Lung heart region. Just be careful over those metatarsal bones there. Metacarpal bones. So you see that we're just working our way horizontally across there. Now again, all through that back area. So really nothing's getting left at all. So if your thumbs do get tight, these like figure 8 strokes here, you just use your palms, that sort of thing. All right, so bring on the stick. Now see, we're just doing with the stick flat, and you can see how I'm holding it, so I've got really good control of the stick here. So I do a nice flat, the side of the stick, as across the back of the hand there. It's really like an introductory stroke, just like you would in massage. Now we're going to work down between the bones again. So we're working, so upper back area, so thinking, certainly from the lower back as well, and hip area, and upper back through there, as we work these channels through, and all these points along here. Now I'm showing you a variant. You could go up this way as well. I do both. I go down, and then I go up like this as well. so nothing gets missed out again. You see, I'm holding it basically like a pen. And now pressure point work. So we're off the bones here. We're going between them. So again, we're just stimulating it. Now I give it a little turn sometimes. Sometimes I don't. More often than not, I do both types. Just a straight press and a press with a twist. Now, so we're going to go work horizontally across the fingers here. So, because remember on the diagram, the zones wrap right around the fingers. So we're going to just work along, and it's basically like writing with a pen. You see this? We're working through. Now, if you did traditional reflexology, you'd be using your thumb to go across these. Here, we're just using the stick that makes it so much easier, and it feels really great as well as we just work through here to stimulate because you don't want to miss the backs of the fingers here. So again, working through there, the neck area, thyroid, parathyroid, head, sinuses. Now we're going to turn the hand over. All right, so we're going to hook in again. Okay, so there you have it. And now we're going to start off with a broad stroke again. Now you see how I've got my middle finger just for better support, better control. My little stick here doesn't have varnish on it, so one that had some varnish on it would be easier because this tends to grip a little bit. So I'd like to get a bit better control. If you've got a bit of varnish, it'll slide better. But it works very nicely. So you can see the way I'm gripping it like this here, the thumb and forefinger. Now, once again, eye, ear area, spinal region, work down there, and working still with a nice broad, basically an inch of the stick. Okay, and now holding like a pen position or whatever grip you'd like. As again, we work down all around through the base of the thumb here, the wrist. So now we're doing some lines along towards the fingers here, as you can see. So I've done horizontal ones, now sort of vertical ones, parallel with the fingers, in other words. So again, we're just working these points. It absolutely feels heavenly. Now just coming around and go around the base of the thumb there. So start to pick up diaphragm areas as well. And now on the opposite side, coming around. Now through the lung heart area there, and then come down. So we're working across here. And really just stimulating all these areas. And just pressing in, hitting the endocrine system. And we're just working all this area, shoulder arm area, diaphragm. And we're going to work the shoulder arm area again there, look. And all through the lung heart area. So of course, if your person had lung conditions, you'd work that area more. You'd give that area more attention. Okay, so now we're going to work all the reflex zones on the fingers, same as we did on the back of the hand, as we go all the way up. So work your way across them. And we're just working away. That's very, very nice. Okay, now we're going to work the side of the hand there. You want to have good control with your fingers on the stick, especially after you use some creams and oils. You want to have good control through there, and working down the side there. We don't want to forget the side of the hand there. Now you see, I put the thumb between my thumb and forefinger to work the ear, eye area and the spinal region as well, more in the bone area. And then same thing, we're going to go across the thumb, through the neck, the thyroid, parathyroid area, working all the way, and then pressing the pituitary. Now, we're going to press. You see that? You're going to press straight down. So grab the fingers and the thumbs with my fingers and thumbs. Get a good control and press straight down on the fingertips. Now here we go. We're going to see my grip there. You're going to press and flick across. Watch this again. Press down, flick across. You're going to press down, flick across. See that? So we're stimulating these points, the head face sinus points. So now we're going to start right down near the wrist here, your lower back, hip area, knee area. We're going to work all these areas now. You see it's very, very complete. We're really working everything. And so you're working down all the reproductive area down here. And then I do some pressure point work right there as well. So see, I've gone horizontal, gone vertical, and now pressure point work through all this area to really stimulate the whole area. So I just put a couple of nice massage strokes in at the same time. Now going back to the grip again. I like to change it over so it doesn't get too sensitive. That's why you will see we work on the back of the hand, then the palm of the hand, and I'll flip it over. For other reasons as well. Okay, one, because it becomes very sensitive if you're just working the palm all the time. But two, just with the person's palm or arm and that sort of thing, the hand and arm, that sort of thing, you'll also, it can be uncomfortable for them as well. So you just see we're working down through the fingers there, and now right along the base of the thumb. And again, you can just see it. Now I'm going to go along the lines of the palm there. So see with I was going to say that with the fingers and thumb of your own hand like this, supporting this, it gives you really, really nice access. And that's what you want. You want to have very good control. So we're just working along the lines of the palm. So this is getting your shoulder, arm area, the diaphragm area, and of course down through the stomach, kidney area as you work other lines as well. Again, you can see I just have my fingers of the hand with the stick supporting where I need it, so I've got control. And now we're working across the base of the wrist there, the base of the hand across the wrist, and just doing some little pressure point works. Now this is the heart meridian here. This is very, very good for, as you learn later on in the course, for anxiety, insomnia, that sort of thing. So these are really good. Of course, if someone's got carpal tunnel, that sort of thing, is also very good. But it's really nice to just work those areas. Now, we're just going to stimulate all those points. As we've done all this work, it's nice to give it a nice little break as you just use the side of the stick, as you just tap, 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 as you work through and stimulate all these reflex points. And then you use the stick like you have been using and just go right over the whole hand. So it really invigorates the hand now. You can just see just working all the way along. So if there are any reflex points that weren't stimulated before, they certainly have been this time. And I just turn the hand over to get to the back of the hand. And the same thing. So it's a really nice, refreshing way to sort of wake up the hand. You can imagine how how softened it up it is, and all these points have been stimulated. So it's a really nice way to end the treatment of the one hand. Now, of course, you do one hand, and then you, of course, do the other one. And then once you've done that, we'll just finish off with just some nice massage strokes. Just very, very comforting. Just some presses there. So it gives the touch of your hands once again on the person, so they feel really comfortable, really cared for. And now just going to work a little squeeze at the end there again, as we're just going to take the energy out through the ends of the fingers. A little squeeze of the fingernail when you get to the end there. You see that? I just wrap my fingers around, come down, a long squeeze, and pop off the end. I like to give a nice little squeeze at the end there, on the fingernail. And now just lots of lovely, comforting touch there, and you've finished the way you start, in the heart-to-heart hole. So the person was feels really loved when you started, and then they get this at the end, so they feel incredibly cared for, which is exactly what you want.